Hello everyone. For today's exercises, the focus is to draw the belly button actively away from the floor and also to align the whole spine in one straight line, paying careful attention to the mid portion of the torso, which will tend to droop towards the floor when we get tired. Now let's begin. Today we start in a squat position. Now you're gonna just place one hand right or left, just slightly in front of you, stack the shoulder on top of the wrist, and gently rock front and back for 7, 6, 5, 4, keep the belly button drawn in, and last one. Now walking the other hand just slightly forward a little bit more, and once again rocking for 7, 6, 5, 4, making sure that the shoulders are above the wrist, and last one, and forward even more. You should start to feel your core even more now, and rocking for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and last one on the other hand, even forward, almost walking to a plank already. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we go to a plank position. Ensuring that the shoulders are stacked on top of the wrists, back of the knees are engaged. Now lifting one hand up for side plank, just holding it there, making sure that one shoulder is stacked on top of the other. And now you're gonna reach your fingers over the top here and lift the hips up. And you're just gonna dip the hips down slightly and lift up one more time. Dip slightly and stretch the side body. And down and stretch. And let's go for 4 more sets here. And 4 and down. And 3 and down. Really reach over the head and down. And for the last one, you're gonna reach your fingers over the head and place the hands down. Switching over to the other side, just getting the side plank position first, making sure that the hips are lifted, and now reaching the fingers over the ear and back to side plank. Taking another 7 sets here. Down and 6 and down. Try to keep the collarbones as spread out as you can, especially when you do the reach over. So we want to encourage the side body to lengthen and not round forward. Last 3, last 2. And on the last one, reach the fingers over the head and place it back down to a plank. Now we're gonna walk our hands back, just reversing the whole movement from the top, going back to a squat. Now we're gonna flow through those movements, movement to movement with no repetitions. Walking the hands forward, back to a plank. Reaching one hand up for side plank. Reaching the fingers over, lifting the hips up and dropping the hands down. Other side, side plank. Lifting the hips, reaching over the ear and placing the hands down. Going back to plank. Now using the hands to push the hips back to the heels. Repeating the flow. Walking the hands forward to a plank and side plank. Reach over. And hands down. Other side, side plank. Lifting the hips up. Reaching far to place the hands down. And walking the hands back step by step, back to a squat. Now we're going to our second variation of plank. Walking the hands forward. Keeping the upper body steady, you're just gonna float that right heel off the floor slightly, tapping the ball of the feet down lightly. And we go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and back to plank. Now bringing your right knee as close to your right elbow, you're gonna try to place your right foot next to your right palm. Pushing the floor away a lot, you're gonna try to lift that right leg just 1 inch off the floor and tap it lightly back down. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and circle the leg back to a plank. Taking everything to the left side, so we float the heel off and tap the ball of the feet down. For 8, 7, 6, 5, keeping the upper body as well as the hips steady. And now bring the knee to the elbow, step the foot outside of the left palm, push the floor away a lot, float that left foot off the floor and tap down lightly for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and circle the leg back to a plank. Now we're just gonna walk our hands back, give our arms a quick rest. Adding on to this movement, we walk ourselves back to a plank, float that right heel off. Now we're gonna push our chest towards our thighs using our arm strength, right heel to the ceiling. And now weight over the hands again. It's a plank position but with your right heel still off. And then we're gonna push back and back to plank. 3-legged dog, back to plank. So your right foot basically does not touch the floor for this whole sequence of movements. Now allow the pushing back motion of the 3-legged dog to allow your shoulders to open. So you really want to look between your legs towards your thighs. And last set here, and hold it in 3-legged dog. Now you're gonna bring your right knee to your right elbow once again, step that foot outside of the palm. Now really push the floor away a lot, circle that right leg back to a plank. Now other side, floating the left heel off, pushing back to 3-legged dog, and floating that heel back to plank. Now you want to imagine that the leg is stuck onto your core and the whole position is locked in a plank position, so there is no kicking motion here. All the strength comes from the core engagement as well as the arms pushing it back. We have another 2 more sets here. And last one. Now bringing the left knee to the left elbow, stepping the foot outside of the left palm. And once again, pushing the floor away a lot, circling the leg back. Let's walk our hands back to a squat. Now putting all the movements that we have learned. So walking out to a plank, raising one arm into a side plank, reaching the fingers over the ear, lifting the hips, placing the hands back down to plank. Other side, side plank, reaching the fingers over, give the side body a stretch, and back to plank. Now adding on the new movements, right heel up, push back to 3-legged dog, curl the knee towards the elbow, step it down, circle the leg back into a plank. Left side, left heel off, pushing it back to 3-legged dog, curl the knee in towards the elbow, placing the foot down and drawing a nice circle with your left leg back to plank. And walking hands back to a squat. We're going to repeat this flow for another 4 more times. Right or left doesn't matter as long as you balance it out. So walking the hands forward, side plank, reaching over, back to plank. Other side, side plank, reaching the fingers over, and hands down. And lifting one heel up, pushing back to 3-legged dog. Bringing the knee to elbow, circling the leg back. Other side, float the right heel off, pushing back to 3-legged dog, knee to elbow, step it down, circle it back. Walking back to a squat. Now for the next set, you can start with the side that you don't normally start with. Now walking out, taking a side plank, reaching over the ear, and putting the hands down to plank. Other side, side plank. Stretch the side body, place the hands down, floating one heel off, pushing back, knee to elbow, circle the leg back to plank. Other side, leg up, knee to elbow, circling the leg back, walking the hands back to squat. For the last 2 sets, let's speed it up. So walking hands forward, side plank, reach over, plank, side plank, reach over, plank, float the heel up, push back, knee to elbow, circle back. Other side, push back, knee to elbow, circle back. And walking the hands back. And last set, let's go. Forward, side plank, reach over, down, side plank, reaching over and down, heel off, push back, knee to elbow, circle back. Other side, leg to the back, and knee to elbow, circle back. Walk the hands back and relax. As a quick stretch, you can interlace your fingers behind your back, open the chest, and lean forward. You can place your forehead on the floor and allow the fists to fall in front of your head. You can also bring it side to side if you want a more specific stretch in front of the shoulders, and you can stay there for as long as you like. Thank you for joining me today.